Sometimes things don't play out how they should. And as materially fortunate as NBA players are, the stars may simply not align at any given time. These are the most unlucky NBA moments and quite the proof that fate plays jokes, even to the best of them. Starting with Kevin Durant. All he had to do was make his shoes a quarter of an inch shorter and the Brooklyn Nets would have been in the 2021 NBA Finals. Instead, KD's hockey stick-looking lower appendages stuck out in the worst moment, costing the team a crucial point and a probable victory. The Nets eventually lost in overtime, and the Bucks went on to the finals and won a ring. This is one of those rare times that Durant shouldn't have put his best foot forward. Now, speaking of shoes and feet, check out Manu Ginobili, completely tearing through the midsoles of his Nike Air Max Closer 4. The worst case scenario was Ginobili spraining his foot and making contact with Tim Duncan's knees. But thankfully, neither of those happened, and play went on after the Argentinian put on another pair. For all I know, that's probably nature's payback for swatting a bat, Manu. Now, an NBA referee's job is hard, and my man Scott Foster is living proof. For some strange reason, Foster decided to stand in the way of a 6'8", 250-pound freight train named LeBron James and got a bloody lip to show for it. Ouch. But if there's someone who knows what it's like to be hit in the wrong spot, it's Steven Adams, as you can see in this play. The big man gave up an and one, and the ball bounced through the hoop and right on top of his crown jewels. I wonder why the ball hates Adams so much. It kept finding him even when he literally did nothing but stroll on the sidelines to sub a teammate out. Legend has it the ball was sidelined for 6 weeks because of a concussion. If it's any consolation to Adams, he found a kindred spirit after Donovan Mitchell suffered the same effects in a game against the Kings. It's not quite the same play, but LeBron James took something other than a win against the Lakers on one fateful February night. You don't even have to ask D'Angelo Russell about that one. That's got to hurt. Talking about balls, a bouncing basketball is truly a weapon by itself, if you're not careful. I don't have the exact statistics, but it's the culprit behind most of the accidents happening on the court. You don't believe me? These players beg to disagree. The game hasn't even started yet, and Bron was in full flopping mode already. That's gotta be in his DNA. Well, it's the hazards of the job. As an NBA player, as Anthony Davis realized, AD's luck ran out twice on the same play, missing a wide open dunk in transition and slipping on a mop chilling on the stanchion. Honestly, whoever left that mop there deserves to be fired. Who's down on his luck now? At least the unibrow didn't make a fool of himself in his time in New Orleans. Unlike Jordan Poole's tenure as a Wizard, here's Poole's entire DC stint in a nutshell. The lesson, folks, please stop flopping. The basketball gods don't like it. Every NBA fan dreams of sitting courtside and getting as close as possible to the action. It's the best experience one could have, but it is also a double-edged sword. I mean, while it's cool to witness Steph Curry drill a three from the logo or LeBron James running down the lane with a hammer in the flesh, what would you do if a 300-pound man came flying in your direction? Yikes! These fans' lives flash before their eyes, thanks to Glenn Big Baby Davis. You gotta love the hustle, but damn, that could get someone killed. Shaquille O'Neal knows a thing or two about diving into the stands when he was playing, but one time, he was on the receiving end of an errant pass by Ernie Johnson in the set of NBA on TNT that knocked his glasses off. Turns out everything was a misunderstanding. Ernie thought Shaq would stay in his initial spot, but the big diesel tried to play defense, which explains why he moved closer. Even as a near 400-pound giant, catching a ball with your face will sting like a Muhammad Ali jab. Now, speaking of pain, Julius Randle always brings it when he's on the court, and unluckily, he brought some on his own teammate, Jalen Brunson, for no reason other than he likes to swing his arms. Randall's apology seems sincere, but watching Andre Drummond in this play walk obliviously after plowing through Alex Caruso like nothing happened is one of the greatest mysteries to me. There's nothing worse in basketball than getting decked by your own teammate, because you'd have to see that face in the locker room in tomorrow's practice. NBA players pride themselves on the footwork, but nothing can ever be perfect. Bogdan Bogdanovic found that out the hard way. In a fast break situation, Bogey tripped on his own feet and got hit right on the dome by a Trae Young pass on his way down. But at least that was a skillful pass by Trae and the right idea, hitting a teammate in stride. But this shot put attempt Christian Wood called a pass, let's generously say it's off target, and gave a fan a reason to call in sick the next day, or more like the next 21 days. The fan, Isabella Fitz, suffered a concussion and a hairline fracture on her cheekbone that forced her to miss 3 weeks of work. Christian Wood tried to apologize through Instagram and offered Fitz tickets to Rockets games. However, Fitz didn't like how Seawood used laughing emojis in his apology and demanded that Wood say sorry to her directly. Come on, Seawood, the woman has suffered enough. Why invite her to watch the third worst team in the league? Now, here's something most fans didn't know. James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo hate each other and had a beef 3 years ago. The Beard once said Giannis's game has no skill at all, just running, being 7 foot, and dunking. That's after the Greek freak threw shade at Harden when he claimed he'd rather have Kemba Walker over him because he wanted someone who could pass. So, you be the judge. Is this a stroke of bad luck? Or did Giannis intentionally try to take the Beard off James Harden's face in front of thousands of witnesses? And it's not like the Beard's career didn't meet any bad luck at all. I mean, the guy almost had the 2018 KD Steph Golden State Warriors on the ropes, only for Chris Paul to hurt his hamstring. That's why it's just another day at the office when things like this happen to Harden. It's not even the most tragic thing here. While the Rockets were up by 13 at that point, the Spurs fought back, took the game into overtime, and won by 2 points. If that's not unlucky, I don't know what is. Anyway, that dunk should have counted, and so should this potential game winner by Baron Davis. The game went into overtime, and the Hornets won, but they could have enjoyed a warm shower 5 minutes early, if not for that egregious call. That mistake was one of the reasons why the NBA brought in the instant replay, so something positive came out of it. But I doubt positivity is how you would describe Damian Dotson's feelings when he missed this free throw. Although everyone had a good laugh when Draymond Green pulled off the most random charity stripe result in basketball history. While those free throws have not helped the team's cause, at least the ball didn't bounce the opponent's way like this supposed to be awesome chase down block by Kent Bazemore. Baze tried to redeem himself after a Kyle Lowry steal, but slapped the ball too hard, it went straight to the hoop. You're supposed to get rewarded for playing defense, but sometimes Lady Luck just ain't pulling your way. Speaking of pulling though, Jaden McDaniels should have literally pulled his punches on this one. But unluckily, his emotions got the better of him. J-Mac swung at the wall in the Wolves vs Pelicans play-in game in 2023. Final score, Wall 1, Jaden McDaniels, 0. McDaniels' loss was a massive one for Minnesota as they lost to the Denver Nuggets in the first round of the 2023 NBA playoffs because they were one versatile defender down. I'm not going out on a limb and say that wall punch was the reason they lost, but yeah, it's close. But in this next clip, DeAndre Jordan lost the game for the Clippers because of an unlucky turn of events.
Bench getting no encouragement from that group. Clippers have a timeout left if needed. Chris Paul, he'll double clutch, backing up, in and out. DJ, shoot the ball.
After Chris Paul missed the running bank shot, DJ thought the buzzer he heard was the game clock signaling the end of the game. Little did he know, it was just the shot clock, so he could have swooped the ball through the net for the W. I'm having a tough time deciding here. That CP3 shot was basically in and went out, and DJ could have won the game for the Clippers, if not for that mental lapse. Which one's more unlucky? Well, why don't we call it even? For things like this to never happen again, the only solution is to get your head in the game. Apparently, Sam Dekker did not get the memo. Dekker tried to get his feet right under him, but tripped and hit the deck. Dekker got decked. Anyway, the ball decided to add insult to injury and bounced off his face. I don't know if I've seen a more unlucky sequence in my life, and that's saying a lot. Well, Sam Dekker only lost 2 points in that play, but Jalen Brunson made the Knicks lose all hope of advancing deeper into the 2024 NBA playoffs. New York hasn't made a conference finals in 24 years and is actually fighting and clawing all playoffs long, led by Brunson's inspired play and scoring outbursts. However, in the blink of an eye, Brunson's freak injury was the final nail in the coffin for the Knicks. Down by 10, halfway into the third quarter, Brunson tried to defend a streaking Tyrese Halliburton on a fast break, and it didn't go well. As the Knicks guard tried to swipe down the ball hard, he hit Halliburton's knee, which was already on an upward trajectory. Brunson fractured his left hand in the process and did not play the rest of the way, eliminating any chance of a comeback by the orange and blue. In addition, JB is a lefty, so I don't know how much this would affect his shot even after recovery. Well, at least he got his friends with him. Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and Brunson will all probably spend their summer chilling over at the Trauma Ward. Good heavens, there's the Tom Thibodeau curse again. But as far as unlucky injuries go, my heart goes out to the Heat's Drew Smith. Smith was one of Miami's reclamation projects as an undrafted guard in 2021. He wasn't anything special, but he's a typical dog that Pat Riley loves. And that's what got him in trouble. That and the Cleveland Cavaliers' questionable raised court. Smith closed out and challenged a Max Strus corner three, landed on a piece of paper, and slipped off the edge of the court. The poor guy's knees buckled, resulting in a third-degree ACL sprain, which meant his ACL tore in half and could no longer stabilize the knee joint. That's a horror story that shouldn't have happened. And all the best to Drew Smith and his family. If I have to vote for the unluckiest player of all time, it probably goes to Brandon Knight. Knight ain't no scrub by any means, as he's a proven double-digit scorer in his first 5 seasons. But when it comes to the most embarrassing fails, my dude had no equal, well, maybe except Wizards and Nuggets' JaVale McGee. Knight got manslaughtered on national TV by DeAndre Jordan, had his ankles snatched twice by Kyrie Irving in the Rookie Challenge, and blows the easiest game winner of all time. At least my man had an MVP award in Puerto Rico, but his NBA lowlights are some Marianas Trench stuff. But if I had to choose between bruising my ego or bruising everything in my anatomy, hey, I'd probably choose the former, especially if the one dishing out the punishment is Kendrick Perkins. The former NBA big man was listed at 6'10", 270, but it won't surprise me if that's closer to 300. Thank goodness I don't play in the NBA and never will be. So let's see what Perk did to Mike Miller. Apparently, Big Perk thought Miller was a sofa and sat on him for a good 3 seconds. And if you missed that kung fu slap to the face before that, I promise you I didn't. Now, that wasn't even the worst thing that happened to Mike Miller. When he was with Memphis, Mike caught Kobe Bryant in the face going to the basket, opening a nasty gash on the side of Bryant's eye. So there's an argument that Kobe's the unlucky one here, given he had to go back to the locker room to get stitched up. But yeah, Kobe's a psycho, so he's looking for a way to turn the tables. The Mamba set his sights on getting back at Miller and found the perfect timing to spring at his unlucky victim. Oh, Miller almost swallowed his Adam's apple there. And even though he misses Kobe, his esophagus certainly doesn't. These are the unluckiest NBA moments and a reminder that sometimes you just can't dribble past bad luck.